Hi guys, it's John here, and this is a benchmark comparison between the S25 series and the S24 Ultra. So here you can see we have the S25, the S25 Plus, and the S25 Ultra. Alongside it, we have their older brother, the S24 Ultra. So we've got the three new S25s running on Android 15 here, as you can see, with One UI version 7.0. They're currently on the October Google Store Play update and the December 2024 Android security patch. Here on the S24 Ultra, we're still on the 6.1 version of One UI, and we are also on the 1st of December 2024 Android security level. You can see here I've got all of the phones set to maximum brightness with auto brightness turned on. We're on adaptive motion smoothness, and we are on a vivid screen mode on all phones. So you can see here I haven't messed around with any of the settings. We are just on defaults on all phones. And I've set all the phones to their best resolution, Quad HD on the S25 Plus upwards. And obviously the S25 just comes with the 1080p screen, so you can't change that. And of course, what we're going to be doing here is testing the Snapdragon 8 Elite versus the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in the S24 Ultra. So what we're going to do is run through the benchmarking apps you can see here on the screen. We have got a floating battery widget here on the top of all phones. They've all been charged 100%, and they do also all have a SIM card in. We also have our floating temperature widget here, which is going to monitor the temperature of the phones. So you can see here the coolest at the moment is the S25 Plus, but let's see how things go during the benchmarks. Okay, so some quite interesting results here from the first benchmark. We can see here that all phones have beaten the 8 Gen 3 very easily here. The brand new S25 series has the 8 Elite in it, and you can see here already compared to the Ultra of last year, it's way ahead in both the single and the multi-core. What is interesting though is the S25 Plus actually beating the S25 Ultra here, even though they've got the same screen resolution set. We do have a slightly smaller screen here on the S25 Plus. That might be the reason behind that, but it is quite different here between the multi-core score here. We've got 10,000 versus 9,277. We've also got the little S25 over here beating S25 Ultra in the multi-core by just under 500 points. So yeah, quite interesting results there for the CPU benchmark. Okay, so next up we're going to test the GPU, and we're going to put in Adreno 830 versus the 750 of last year, and we'll see how they come out. Right, so the GPU benchmark has just finished now, and we can see here the results are, again, quite interesting. We see here that the Ultra has taken the win here with 21,000 compared to last year's Ultra at just 15,000. Trailing behind slightly is the S25 Plus and the S25. But we can see here there's about 30% difference here between last year's models, so that's quite a big improvement for the GPU there. Temperature-wise, we're at 32 degrees, 30 degrees, 32 and 32. So the S25 Plus just seemed to want keeping cooler out of all of them. For this, we're just going to test the CPU and just see how they do in the AI benchmark. Right, okay, so the CPU AI test has just finished, and yeah, this is quite interesting as well, because we see here the loser here is the S25 Ultra with a score of 3280 versus 3820 on the S24 Ultra from last year. Now, even beating the S24 Ultra are the two S25 and S25 Plus over here, where we have a score of 4956 and 4342. So the S25 Plus is really outperforming the Ultra here, which is rather embarrassing. Temperature-wise, we're at 36, we've just dropped to 34, but we're at 35, 34, and 33 degrees. Okay, I've just adjusted the light a bit so you can hopefully see the screens a bit better. It's a bit difficult at the moment if we've got some bright sunlight outside. But anyway, I'm going to run through the AnTuTu Benchmark now, and we're going to see how they do here. I haven't actually tested it, as you can see, on the brand new phone, so it's going to be completely new to me. We can see the score from the S24 Ultra's last test here, which was a good few months ago. Let's see how they compare here when it comes to AnTuTu. Right, so the AnTuTu benchmark has now just finished. And we can see here, yet again, the S25 Plus beating the S25 Ultra here by over 100,000 points here. And you can see last year's S24 Ultra only getting 1.7 million compared to this year's 2.1 million. But yeah, it is interesting to see these results from the S25 Plus. And let's not forget the S25 over here, which is still beating the S24 Ultra from last year. Battery wise, we're down to 88, 89, 88 and 87%. Don't forget, obviously the S24 Ultra here is a year old, whereas these S25s are all brand new. Temperature wise, we're at 41, 40, 41 and 39 degrees. Right, so we're now moving on to the 3D Mark Steel Nomad stress test. This will run for 20 minutes and we'll see how they fare. We are starting at 88, 89, 88 and 87. And temperature wise, 37, 39, 37 and 38. Okay, so the Steel Nomad has just finished, and we can see here some very hot temperatures coming from the S25 Plus, 46 degrees. That's very warm, followed by the S25 with 45 degrees, and the two Ultras here, S25 and S24 at 43 degrees. And again, we do see some interesting results here where the highest best loop was from the S25 Plus here with 2107, followed by the S25 Ultra, followed by the S25 and then the S24 Ultra. And the best lowest loop as well goes to the S25 Plus here with 1521, followed by the S25 Ultra 1419, followed by the S25 and then the S24 Ultra. Stability wise though, we do see that the S24 Ultra is the most stable here at 76% versus 75, 74 and then 72. But overall I'd say that the S25 Plus here has won the Steel Nomad test. Let's finish off here with a browser benchmark and we'll just run the Jetstream 2 test here and we'll come back shortly and see how they do. Right, so Jetstream 2 results are in, and again, 226 here for the S25 Plus, followed closely by the S25 here with 187, actually followed then by the S24 Ultra here, and lastly the S25 Ultra with 178. So yeah, some very interesting scores here across all of the tests we've seen today. I would say the overall winner is the S25 Plus. It just seems to be winning every test at the moment, and the S25 as well, not too far behind. S25 Ultra not really showing anything too exciting when compared to the S24 Ultra. So if you do have an S24 Ultra or even an S23 Ultra, to be honest, it's probably not worth the upgrade to the S25 Ultra. However, if like me, you're thinking of going from an S24 to the latest S25 series, I am actually considering now just going straight for the S25 Plus here, because you still have that big screen. And yes, you lose the stylus support here, but as this stylus doesn't actually come with Bluetooth built in anymore, you aren't actually losing a huge amount from that stylus now. So yeah, I think I will probably be moving to an S25 Plus and saying goodbye to my S24 Ultra. I'm going to skip the S25 Ultra because it hasn't really changed enough to get me excited to use it. If this had ultra wideband support on the S25, I'd probably just go for the S25 to be honest, as it's the same camera modules, just a very slightly smaller screen. So I'm going to be doing a proper battery drain test between these four phones, so be sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified when that comes out. I'll also do a camera test comparison between them, and hopefully that'll make it easier for you to make a decision as to whether you want to get one of these phones. Yeah, thanks again for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.